So writing assignments are in Google Classroom, so you can either open up a new tab and get into Google Classroom, or you can go through your content, pull up the Unit 3, find 310, and 310 will have a link in there to your Google Classroom. The assignment in 310 says task 1 and task 2 because they're both in Google Classroom. So I didn't want to confuse you. Just there's one assignment in K-12, but there's 2 assignments in Google Classroom. Maybe I did confuse you. So let's pretend you clicked on that. I'm recording in period 3, so we're in period 3. Here's what you should do. I would open up task 1 in a new tab. I'm going to go to classwork. Open up task 1 in a new tab. There, new tab. And then open up task 2 in this tab. If you have a double screen, awesome. I love a double screen personally. If you have dual monitors. So let's refresh. 310 looks like this, that it has your brainstorm, the topic that you picked, and then some information that people would need to know about your topic. So I talked about plants, how they're easier to grow, why I think it's important, and some specialized words like the tools that I used. I would suggest copying this and pasting it in your task 2. Because this stuff is going to turn into your supporting sentences. So you're going to pick the stuff that's in here that you like, and we're going to turn those into full sentences. So this is what task 2 looks like. Is the instructions say write out 2 paragraphs below, 1 paragraph each, explaining your hobby but for different audiences. And here's the example, is that we have it explained for informal and we have it explained for formal. So if you scroll down, you'll see I already copied and pasted my brainstorm. But the informal tone says, assume you're texting or DMing your friend who knows nothing about your hobby. Explain the hobby to your friend. And it's okay to use contractions and slang. Remember to use short, simple sentences. Throw in some exclamation points and some emojis. That's okay. In the last class, I even wrote this out. This might be helpful for you if it's scary to look at something blank, to write a topic sentence, supporting sentence, concluding sentence, if that helps you organize your writing. Okay. Now we're basically doing the same thing in formal tone, but we're pretending that you're writing this more like a report. So you're writing it to someone who might be familiar with your hobby, but someone you don't necessarily know. So we want to default to formal. We want to use professional words. So focus on sounding professional and using those hobby-specific vocab words. Avoid slang, contractions, exclamation points. It might just be a really good idea to read read the paragraphs and rewrite the sentences as you go. So informal tone is where we want to start for this assignment. And I will read to you my example. Okay, so you're writing down here. After it says your turn, I'm going to look at my examples up here. Okay. So my topic is gardening. Let's look at informal. Hi, buddy. Yes, I would love to help you with your garden. This is my topic sentence, and it says, I'm going to help you with your garden. I will use some shade-loving plants, and we can try some plants that also like a bit of sun too and see which ones live. I'll make sure to bring some tools to help us. We'll also need a few bags of dirt to feed them up good. After watering about a week, you'll see that the plants will take, and hopefully it'll make you happy to look at them. I'm so excited to get digging and make my grandpa proud. Okay. So this is an informal paragraph about planting and how to plant a new garden bed. If I take this same idea though, and I switch my purpose for writing and I switch my audience, now I have a formal tone. So when planting a new garden bed, it is important to assess the amount of sunlight the space provides so one can choose the best plants possible. That's a big shift in tone. It's still on the same topic of creating a new garden bed. I took this first 2 sentences and I made them into one, and I made it sound fancier. I took out the contractions. Okay, moving on. Having the right tools is also important. Leather palmed gloves, a trowel, and a garden fork will work wonders. It is also likely soil amendments like adding garden soil, compost, and mulch will help provide nutrients to the desired plants and prevent root shock. So root shock is one of those specific phrases, those specific vocab words like trowels and garden fork and compost. Continual daily watering will ensure that the roots established and the plant will flourish. Once plants begin to bloom, it is truly satisfying and all the hard work is rewarded. So these are 2 paragraphs on the same topic, but they're communicating in a different approach. But they're still talking about what do you need to build a garden. They're just using different words and phrases. So that's what I want you to do, is to take your hobby and start by writing an informal tone. So act like you're explaining your hobby to a friend, and then we will turn it into one where you explain your hobby to a stranger. Okay, those are our steps.